Film noir is a genre that captivated audiences with its shadowy cinematography, morally ambiguous characters, and complex narratives. At the heart of this genre were not just the hardboiled detectives and brooding antiheroes, but the women who often stole the show, femme fatales, deadly women, morally gray figures and survivors navigating the treacherous terrain of crime and betrayal. In the November 2024 series, we will dive into the lives and careers of some of the most iconic actresses in film noir, from sultry and dangerous figures like Gloria Grahame and Lana Turner to iconic leading ladies like Marilyn Monroe and Lauren Bacall. These women brought depth, allure, and complexity to films that defined an era. Let's explore their filmographies, notable film noir roles, and the legacies they left behind. Gloria Grahame was a standout actress in the film noir genre, often portraying sultry, complex characters. She was born in Los Angeles and began her acting career early, eventually moving to Broadway before being signed to MGM. Although MGM didn't fully utilize her talent, she found success after moving to RKO, where her distinctive allure was better suited for film noir roles. Some of her most notable film performances include Crossfire, 1947. Grahame received an Oscar nomination for her portrayal of a dance hall girl in this noir that tackles anti-Semitism. In a Lonely Place, 1950. In this classic, Grahame played Laurel Gray, a neighbor who alibis Humphrey Bogart's character in a complex story of love and suspicion. Sudden Fear, 1952. She played Irene Nevis in this thriller alongside Joan Crawford, further establishing her film noir credentials. The Big Heat, 1953. One of the most memorable roles is Debbie Marsh, a gangster's moll, which includes the famous scene where she is scarred by a pot of scalding coffee. There's a link in the description below. Grahame's life was marked by scandal, especially her tumultuous marriages, including a highly controversial relationship with her former stepson. Despite personal difficulties, she remained dedicated to acting until her death from breast cancer in 1981. Lana Turner was born in 1921 and passed away in 1995. Throughout her career, she became one of Hollywood's most iconic stars, particularly known for her glamorous image and sweater girl persona. Turner rose to prominence in the 40s and 50s, appearing frequently in dramas and melodramas. Still, she also made a significant mark on the film noir genre. Some of her most notable performances include The Postman Always Rings Twice, 1946. One of her most famous roles in the film noir genre, Turner portrayed Cora Smith, an unhappily married woman who conspires with her lover, played by John Garfield, to murder her husband. This film is often cited as one of the defining examples of film noir. Johnny Eager, 1941. Turner played Lizabeth Bard, a socialite who becomes romantically involved with a paroled gangster. This role helped solidify her reputation as a femme fatale in early film noir. Slightly Dangerous, 1943. Though more of a comedy, this film had elements that showcased Turner's ability to play complex, troubled women often featured in film noir. The Bad and the Beautiful, 1952. In this film, while more of a melodrama, Turner's portrayal of Georgia Lorison, an actress used and discarded by a ruthless producer, further cemented her ability to navigate dark and cynical Hollywood-themed stories. Turner remained a cultural icon throughout her life, and even in the 1950s, she transitioned into more melodramatic roles while maintaining her star power, surviving several personal scandals without damaging her career. Shelley Winters was born in 1920 and passed away in 2006. Known for her diverse range of roles, Winters was particularly adept at portraying vulnerable yet strong women. While she is often remembered for her later work, she had key roles in the film noir genre in her early career. Some of her most notable film performances include A Place in the Sun, 1951. Winters portrays Alice Tripp, a factory girl whose tragic love affair with Montgomery Clift's character turns dark. Though more of a romantic drama, the film contains many film noir elements, particularly in its exploration of fate, guilt, and moral ambiguity. Cry of the City, 1948. Winters played Brenda Martingale, a supporting role in the crime film noir about a cop and a criminal who grew up as childhood friends and are now on opposite sides of the law. He Ran All the Way, 1951. Starring opposite John Garfield, Winters played Peggy Dobbs, the young woman who falls for Garfield's character in this tense, claustrophobic film noir about a desperate man on the run. The Big Knife, 1955. This film, a dark exploration of the Hollywood studio system, features Winters as Dixie Evans, a former starlet whose past haunts the central characters. Winters' transition from blonde bombshell to more character-driven roles showcased her depth as an actress, making her a versatile figure in both mainstream Hollywood and darker, more complex genres like film noir. Her roles often allowed her to portray characters with emotional depth and psychological complexity. Joan Bennett was born in 1910 and passed away in 1990. Initially known for her work in romantic comedies and period dramas, Bennett's career took a drastic turn when she began working with director Fritz Lang, becoming a quintessential film noir actress. Some of her most notable film performances include The Woman in the Window, 1944. In this Fritz Lang directed film, Bennett plays Alice Reed, a mysterious woman who entangles an unsuspecting professor, played by Edward G. Robinson, in a murder plot. Scarlet Street, 1945. Another collaboration with Fritz Lang. Bennett plays Kitty Marsh, a femme fatale who manipulates an aging cashier, again played by Edward G. Robinson, into embezzling money for her. There's a link in the description below. The Reckless Moment, 1949. In this film, Bennett plays Lucia Harper, a mother who becomes embroiled in blackmail and murder while trying to protect her family. Hollow Triumph, 1948. Also known as The Scar, Bennett plays Evelyn Hahn, a secretary who becomes involved with a criminal hiding out under a new identity. Bennett's work with director Fritz Lang helped redefine her character, shifting her from ingenue to femme fatale associated with the darker, psychological thrillers that defined film noir. Anne Savage was born in 1921 and passed away in 2008. Though she appeared in several B-movies throughout her career, Savage is best remembered for her iconic role in one of the most influential low-budget film noirs. Some of her most notable film performances include Detour, 1945. Savage's portrayal of Vera, a hard-bitten, cynical drifter who ensnares Tom Neal's character in her schemes, is one of the most iconic performances in film noir history. Apology for Murder, 1945. In this film, Savage plays Toni Kirkland, a woman involved in a deadly love triangle. The film borrows heavily from Double Indemnity, 1944, but stands out due to Savage's performance. The Dark Horse, 1946. Savage plays an ex-wife who tries to con her way back into her former husband's life after he becomes politically successful. Midnight Manhunt, 1945. A murder mystery set in a wax museum. Savage plays a tough-talking reporter caught up in the intrigue. Anne Savage's role in Detour remains one of the most famous femme fatales in the film noir genre, securing her legacy in film history. Ida Lupino was born in 1918 and passed away in 1995. Known not only for her acting, but also for being one of the few female directors in Hollywood during the 1940s and 50s. Lupino had an immense influence on film noir, both as a star and a filmmaker. Some of her most notable film performances include High Sierra, 1941. Lupino plays Marie Garson, a tough, street-smart woman who falls for Humphrey Bogart's character in this classic film noir that helped launch both their careers. There's a link in the description. They Drive by Night, 1940. This film, a combination of film noir and melodrama, features Lupino as Lana Carlson, a woman trapped in a loveless marriage who plots her husband's murder. On Dangerous Ground, 1951. In this moody film noir directed by Nicholas Ray, Lupino plays Mary Malden, a blind woman who helps a violent police officer, played by Robert Ryan, find redemption. Roadhouse, 1948. In this film, Lupino plays Lily Stevens, a singer who gets caught up in a violent love triangle. Her portrayal of a world-weary chanteuse is one of her best-known roles in film noir. There's a link in the description. Lupino was a pioneering figure in Hollywood, especially for her directorial work, which often dealt with social issues like unwed motherhood, crime, and injustice. Her ability to navigate through the grittier roles of film noir and her influence behind the camera made her a standout. Veronica Lake was born in 1922 and passed away in 1973. known for her iconic peekaboo hairstyle and her performances in film noirs opposite Alan Ladd. Lake's glamorous but tough image defined her career. Some of her most notable film performances include This Gun for Hire, 1942. In one of her most famous roles, Lake plays Ellen Graham, a nightclub singer who becomes entangled in a web of espionage and murder. The Glass Key, 1942. Again starring opposite Alan Ladd, Lake plays Janet Henry, a political insider's daughter caught between two men in this adaptation of a Dashiell Hammett novel. The Blue Dahlia, 1946. In this film, Lake plays Joyce Harwood, a woman whose husband is murdered, setting off a suspenseful search for the killer. The chemistry between Lake and Ladd is palpable once again. I Married a Witch, 1942. Although more of a fantasy romance comedy, Lake's sharp performance as a witch who wreaks havoc on the lives of men fits within the strong female roles often seen in film noir. Veronica Lake's career was short-lived, but her performances in these films have left a lasting impression on the genre, especially her work with Alan Ladd, which is often cited as some of the best on-screen chemistry in film noir. Mary Astor was born in 1906 and passed away in 1987. Though she had a long career that started in the silent film era, Astor is particularly remembered for her strong work in film noir during the 1940s. Some of her most notable film performances include The Maltese Falcon, 1941. Perhaps her most iconic role, Astor plays Bridget Shaughnessy, the duplicitous femme fatale who entangles Humphrey Bogart's private eye character in a web of lies, deceit, and murder. There's a link in the description. Act of Violence, 1948. In this tense thriller, Astor plays Pat, a shady character in the drama about a World War II veteran seeking revenge on a former comrade. The Great Lie, 1941. Though more of a melodrama, Astor's performance as Sandra Kovac, a concert pianist, has dark, manipulative qualities that edge into film noir territory. Desert Fury, 1947. In this Technicolor film noir, Astor plays Fritzie Haller, the owner of a Nevada casino whose complicated relationships drive much of the plot. Astor's role in The Maltese Falcon, 1941, alone would have secured her legacy in film noir. Still, her work in the genre shows her range from duplicitous femme fatale to conflicted, morally ambiguous characters. Liz Scott was born in 1922 and passed away in 2015. Known for her husky voice and icy blonde looks, Scott was one of the key actresses who made a name for herself in film noir, often portraying tough, morally ambiguous women. Some of her most notable film performances include Dead Reckoning, 1946. Scott plays Coral Chandler, a mysterious woman whose past catches up with her as Humphrey Bogart's character uncovers a tangled web of deceit. There's a link in the description. Too Late for Tears, 1949. In this film, Scott portrays Jane Palmer, a woman who will stop at nothing to keep a suitcase full of money she has accidentally acquired. Her portrayal of ruthless ambition makes this one of her standout roles. There's a link in the description. Pitfall, 1948. Here Scott plays Mona Stevens, a model who becomes entangled in an affair that leads to deadly consequences. There's a link in the description. The Strange Love of Martha Ivers, 1946. Scott stars as Toni Marchak, a woman trying to escape her troubled past. The film is a perfect example of the era's psychological melodramas. There's a link in the description. Lizabeth Scott's career was defined by her work in film noir, where she often played femme fatales with depth and complexity, representing the shifting roles of women in post-war America. Next is Marie Windsor, who was often referred to as the Queen of the B's for her prolific work in B-movies, particularly in film noirs. Windsor was born in 1919 and passed away in 2020. Known for her statuesque presence and strong-willed characters, Windsor was a staple of film noirs during the 1940s and 50s. Some of her most notable film performances include The Narrow Margin, 1952. Windsor played as Frankie Neal, a gangster's widow being escorted by a police officer on a dangerous train ride. Her performance as the brash, dangerous femme fatale is one of her best. There's a link in the description. Force of Evil, 1948. In this film, Windsor plays Edna Tucker, a woman embroiled in the shady world of racketeering and betrayal. The Killing, 1956. Directed by Stanley Kubrick, Windsor plays Sherry Petty, a conniving wife who helps set off a deadly chain of events during a racetrack heist. There's a link in the description. The Sniper, 1952. Windsor's performance as the victim of a disturbed sniper is chilling, adding to her reputation as one of film noir's most effective actresses. Marie Windsor's commanding presence and ability to portray morally complex women made her one of the most memorable figures of film noir, especially in roles that demanded strength and grit. Linda Darnell was a sultry star of the 1940s and 50s, often playing troubled heroines. Linda Darnell was born in 1923 and passed away tragically in a house fire in 1965. Darnell was known for her stunning beauty and versatile acting, with many roles in dark, dramatic films, including film noir. Some of her most notable film performances include Fallen Angel, 1945. Darnell played Stella, a waitress who becomes the object of obsession for Dana Andrews' character. Her sultry performance is one of the highlights of this Otto Preminger-directed film noir. There's a link in the description. Hangover Square, 1945. In this psychological thriller, Darnell plays Nanette Longdon, a manipulative woman who exploits a mentally disturbed composer. No Way Out, 1950. Darnell plays Edie Johnson, a bitter woman embroiled in a racially charged medical drama. Her intense performance adds depth to the film's social themes. The Mark of Zorro, 1940. Though more of a swashbuckler than a film noir, Darnell's role as Lolita Quintero foreshadows the complex, fiery character she would portray in later films. There's a link in the description. Linda Darnell's dark allure and ability to convey both vulnerability and danger made her a key figure in the world of film noir, where she often portrayed conflicted, tragic women. Next up is Thelma Ritter, an actress known for her wisecracking, street-smart persona, though she also appeared in some notable film noirs. Thelma Ritter was born in 1902 and passed away in 1969. She was often cast in supporting roles, with her sharp, sarcastic delivery adding dimension to many of her characters. Some of her most notable film performances include Pickup on South Street, 1953. In this Sam Fuller-directed film noir, Ritter plays Mo Williams, a street vendor and informant whose interactions with a pickpocket, played by Richard Widmark, form a core part of the plot. Her performance earned her an Academy Award nomination. There's a link in the description. Called Northside 777, 1948. Ritter had a minor but memorable role in this film noir, which stars James Stewart as a reporter investigating a wrongful conviction. The Mating Season, 1951. Although more of a comedy than a classic noir, Ritter's role as Ellen McNulty shows her typical savvy character, and the film contains some noir-like elements. A Letter to Three Wives, 1949. Though this film leans more towards melodrama, Ritter's character, Sadie, helps anchor this film with a touch of wit and wisdom, in line with many of her noir-adjacent roles. Thelma Ritter's performance in these films, particularly Pickup on South Street, cemented her as a memorable character actress who could effortlessly shift from humor to dark tones. Now we move on to Jean Peters, known for her role as both the girl next door and more complex, dangerous women in film noir. Jean Peters was born in 1926 and passed away in 2000. Known for her natural beauty and understated acting style, Peters appeared in a number of key film noirs during the 1950s. Some of her most notable film performances include Pickup on South Street, 1953. Peters plays Candy, a tough-talking woman who gets mixed up with Richard Widmark's pickpocket character. Her gritty, streetwise performance is a standout in the film. There's a link in the description. Niagara, 1953. In this film, Peters stars alongside Marilyn Monroe in a suspense-filled drama set against the backdrop of Niagara Falls. Peters plays Polly Cutter, an innocent woman caught in a deadly love triangle. Viva Zapata, 1952. Though not a classic film noir, this historical drama starring Marlon Brando has elements of the genre, and Peters gives a memorable performance as Josefa Zapata, A Blueprint for Murder, 1953. Peters stars as Lynn Cameron, a woman entangled in a murder investigation. Her portrayal of a potentially dangerous femme fatale adds tension to the film. Jean Peters' ability to portray both innocence and danger made her a dynamic presence in film noir, especially in roles where she had to navigate morally complex situations. Next is Joan Crawford, an iconic Hollywood star whose work in film noir solidified her status as a legend. Joan Crawford was born in 1904 and passed away in 1977. Known for her intensity and ability to play both glamorous and gritty roles, Crawford had a significant impact on film noir. Some of her most notable film performances include Mildred Pierce, 1945. This is arguably Crawford's most iconic role. She played the titular character, a self-made woman whose rise to success is marred by betrayal and murder. Her performance earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress. Possessed, 1947. Crawford played Louise Howell, a woman spiraling into madness as she becomes obsessed with her former lover. Her intense performance is one of the highlights of her career. Flamingo Road, 1949. In this film, Crawford portrays Lane Bellamy, a carnival dancer who rises to power and influence through sheer will and determination. The film is filled with moral ambiguity typical of film noir. Sudden Fear, 1952. Crawford plays Myra Hudson, a wealthy playwright who discovers that her husband is plotting to kill her. The film's suspenseful plot and Crawford's performance make it a quintessential film noir. Joan Crawford's contribution to film noir are significant, with Mildred Pierce and Possessed cementing her place as one of the great leading ladies of the genre. Next is Ella Raines, an actress known for her distinct presence in film noir, portraying strong and independent characters. Ella Raines was born in 1920 and passed away in 1988. With her striking beauty and sharp acting, she played a key role in defining the look and feel of classic film noir. Some of her most notable performances include Phantom Lady, 1944. In this essential film noir, directed by Robert Siodmak, Raines plays Carol Richmond, a secretary determined to clear her boss's name after he is accused of murder. Her relentless pursuit of the truth is central to the plot. The Web, 1947. In this film noir, Raines portrays Noelle Faraday, the secretary to a lawyer who gets entangled in a web of murder and deceit. Impact, 1949. Raines plays Marcia Peters, a woman who helps a man framed for murder. Her role as an independent, resourceful woman is a common theme in her film noirs. There's a link in the description. Brute Force, 1947. Though a prison film, Brute Force contains many elements of film noir. Raines plays Anne, the wife of one of the prisoners in this gritty, violent film about life inside a corrupt prison. There's a link in the description. Ella Raines often brought determination and a tough edge to her roles, making her a standout in the film noir genre. Now for Eve Arden, an actress known for her sarcastic wit and scene-stealing supporting roles in numerous genres, including film noir. Eve Arden was born in 1908 and passed away in 1990. Some of her most notable film performances include Mildred Pierce, 1945. Arden played Ida Corwin, Mildred's wisecracking best friend and business associate. Her wit and charm added levity to this intense melodrama and dark undertones of the film. Whiplash, 1948. In this lesser-known film noir, Arden plays Chris Sherwood, the supportive and sharp-tongued friend of the lead female character, helping anchor the film's darker themes. The Unfaithful, 1947. Arden had a minor but memorable role as a friend to Ann Sheridan's character in this post-war film noir about betrayal and deceit. No No Nanette, 1940. Though not traditionally a film noir, Arden's sarcastic, quick-talking persona often crossed genres, and her influence on characters in darker films is evident in her filmography. Arden's sharp tongue and knowing attitude made her a memorable figure in any film she appeared in, especially in Mildred Pierce. Next is Audrey Totter, a leading lady of film noir who often portrayed hard-edged femme fatales or vulnerable women caught in dangerous situations. Audrey Totter was born in 1917 and passed away in 2013. Known for her intensity and versatility, she starred in many of the quintessential film noirs of the 1940s and 50s. Some of her most notable film performances include The Postman Always Rings Twice, 1946. Though Totter had a minor role in this iconic film noir, it helped set the stage for her future as a prominent figure in the genre. Tension, 1949. In this classic film noir, Totter played Claire Quimby, a manipulative woman who pushes her husband to the brink of murder. Her portrayal of the cold-hearted femme fatale is one of her defining roles. Lady in the Lake, 1946. Totter stars as Adrienne Fromset, the femme fatale in this unusual first-person point of view film noir. Her cool, calculating performance makes her a standout in this adaptation of a Raymond Chandler novel. There's a link in the description. The setup, 1949. In this dark, boxing-centered film noir, Totter plays Julie, the wife of an aging boxer who is about to face his final, most brutal fight. Her vulnerability and emotional depth add gravitas to the film. There's a link in the description. Audrey Totter's versatility allowed her to transition between femme fatales and sympathetic victim roles, contributing to her legacy as a film noir icon. Continuing with Jane Greer, a notable actress who made her mark with her cool and enigmatic portrayals in film noir. Jane Greer was born in 1924 and passed away in 2001. She is best remembered for her performances that encapsulated the duplicity and allure of the classic femme fatale. Some of her most notable film performances include Out of the Past, 1947. One of Greer's most iconic roles, she played Kathy Moffat, a deadly femme fatale whose relationship with Robert Mitchum's character is central to the quintessential film noir. Her mix of charm and danger make this one of the most famous portrayals in the genre. This film was remade as Against All Odds 1984, with Greer taking a main role in the new film and also featuring noir icon Richard Widmark. There's a link to both films in the description. The Big Steal 1949. In this film noir comedy, Greer reunites with Robert Mitchum, portraying Joan Grahame, who is trying to retrieve money stolen from her by a con man. Her strong-willed character adds depth to this more light-hearted film noir. They Won't Believe Me, 1947. Greer plays Janice Bell, a woman caught up in a love triangle that leads to murder. Her performance highlights the cold and calculating side of her acting range. Station West, 1948. A western with noir elements. Greer stars as the alluring and dangerous Charlie, a nightclub singer who gets involved in a murder plot. Jane Greer's portrayal of icy, manipulative women in these films cemented her status as a film noir legend. Next, let's discuss Cathy O'Donnell, an actress who brought a quiet intensity to her roles, often playing women who found themselves in the middle of dangerous situations. Cathy O'Donnell was born in 1923 and passed away in 1970. Known for her ability to portray vulnerable and sincere characters, she often played women caught up in the darker side of life. Some of her most notable film performances include They Live by Night, 1948. O'Donnell's portrayal of Kichi, a young woman who falls in love with a fugitive, is one of her most memorable roles. Her innocence contrasts with the harshness of the world around her and make her a tragic figure in this influential film noir. Side Street, 1950. O'Donnell plays Ellen Norson, supportive wife of a man who becomes involved in a criminal plot. Her quiet strength adds a layer of emotional complexity to this dark, tension-filled film. The Amazing Mr. X, 1948. Though more of a supernatural thriller, this film features elements of noir. O'Donnell plays Christine, a woman who becomes entangled with a mysterious spiritualist, adding suspense and danger to the plot. Detective Story, 1951. O'Donnell has a small but crucial role in this hard-hitting crime drama, playing a woman whose story intersects with a police detective's investigation. There's a link in the description. Cathy O'Donnell's subtle, emotionally resonant performances make her a standout in these film noirs, often portraying women whose lives were tragically affected by crime. Next, let's dive into Claire Trevor, a celebrated actress known for her strong, compelling performances in film noir. Here are four of her most notable performances. Trevor was born in 1910 and passed away in 2000. She became renowned for her versatility and ability to portray complex characters, often embodying the archetypical femme fatale or the vulnerable woman caught in a perilous situation. Some of her most notable films include Key Largo, 1948. In this classic film noir, Trevor plays the role of Gay Dawn, an alcoholic singer. Her performance earned her an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, showcasing her ability to convey depth and desperation amidst tension. There's a link in the description. Murder My Sweet, 1944. Trevor portrays Helen Grail, a mysterious and seductive woman who pulls private detective Philip Marlowe into a complex web of crime and deceit. Her performance is notable for its blend of allure and danger. There's a link in the description. The High and the Mighty, 1954. Although primarily a drama, this film contains noir elements. Trevor plays the character of the supporting female lead, showcasing her range beyond the traditional film noir setting. There's a link in the description. Born to Kill, 1947. Claire Trevor plays Helen Brent, a psychopathic killer and manipulator, as she vies for the love of Noir icon Sam Wilde, played by the menacing Lawrence Tierney. Trevor is amazing as she hides the depths she will sink to as she accomplishes her goals. The supporting cast of Walter Zelzik, Elisha Cook Jr., and Esther Howard make this one of the greatest film noirs of all time. Claire Trevor's contributions to film noir are significant as she embodied the struggles and complexities of her characters, making her a standout figure in the genre. Next, let us explore Yvonne De Carlo, another talented actress known for her diverse roles in film. Yvonne De Carlo was born in 1922 and passed away in 2007. She was known for her beauty and charisma, often portraying strong women in both film and television. Some of her most notable film performances include Crisscross, 1949. In this film, De Carlo plays Anna, a duplicitous femme fatale in a lover's triangle. This leads to betrayal and murder, orchestrated by Anna. Her performance had depth in this tension-filled, top-tier film noir. Brute Force, 1947. This prison film noir is carried forward by the stories of the women on the outside. In this film, De Carlo portrays Gina Ferrara, one of the females merged into a mysterious picture, Death of a Scoundrel, 1956. In this film noir, De Carlo as Bridget Kelly narrates the story of a Czech immigrant who became a successful businessman before being murdered. The police question Kelly, and she recounts the tale in flashbacks. McClintock, 1963. In this John Wayne epic, De Carlo plays an older woman trying to care for her family. She is a mix of drama, comedy, and feistiness. Yvonne De Carlo's performance contributed to the rich tapestry of film noir, as she often portrayed women who were both alluring and formidable. She is probably best known for her role as Lily Munster. Let's take a closer look at Barbara Stanwyck, a legendary actress renowned for her contribution to film noir and her powerful performances. Stanwyck was born in 1907 and passed away in 1990. She is celebrated for her strong screen presence and her ability to portray complex, multifaceted characters, particularly in the film noir genre. Some of her most notable performances include Double Indemnity, 1944. In this classic film noir, Stanwyck plays Phyllis Dietrichson, a cunning femme fatale who masterminds a plot to murder her husband for insurance money. Her performance is iconic and often cited as one of the greatest in film noir history. There's a link below. The Strange Love of Martha Ivers, 1946. In this gripping drama, she portrays Martha Ivers, a woman haunted by her past and involved in a complex web of deceit and obsession, showcasing her ability to delve into darker emotional territory. There's a link in the description. Clash by Night, 1952. In this film, Stanwyck plays a woman seeking solace from her troubled past in a new relationship, only to find herself caught in the web of deceit and desperation. Meet John Doe, 1941. While not a traditional film noir, Stanwyck's character navigates themes of manipulation and public perception, displaying her capacity for depth and emotional resonance in her performances. Barbara Stanwyck's legacy in film noir is marked by her remarkable range and the unforgettable characters she brought to life, making her one of the defining actresses of her time. Let's explore Gene Tierney, a celebrated actress known for her captivating performances in film noir and her stunning beauty. Gene Tierney was born in 1920 and passed away in 1991. She gained fame for her ability to portray complex and alluring characters, often embodying the classic femme fatale archetype in film noir. Some of her most notable performances include Laura, 1944. Tierney stars as Laura Hunt, a mysterious woman whose murder is the central plot point of this classic film noir. Her performance is haunting, and the film is notable for its innovative narrative style. There's a link in the description. Leave Her to Heaven, 1945. In this story, she plays Ellen Brent, a beautiful but dangerously obsessed woman. Tierney's portrayal is intense and has made the character one of the quintessential femme fatales in film noir history. There's a link in the description. Night in the City, 1950. Tierney plays Mary Bristol, who becomes entangled in the gritty underworld of London showcasing her ability to convey versatility and strength. The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, 1947. While primarily a romantic fantasy, Tierney's role contains elements of mystery and suspense that resonate with film noir themes. Jean Tierney's contribution to film noir are marked by her ability to blend beauty with emotional complexity, leaving a lasting impact on the genre. Rita Hayworth was born in 1918 and passed away in 1987. She became one of the most iconic actresses of the 1940s, often remembered for her captivating presence in film noir and as a pin-up girl during World War II. Some of her most notable film performances include Gilda, 1946, one of her most iconic roles where she played a seductive and complex femme fatale opposite Glenn Ford. The Lady from Shanghai, 1947. Directed by Orson Welles, Hayworth starred as the mysterious and dangerous Elsa Bannister. Affair in Trinidad, 1952. Another collaboration with Glenn Ford, this film also placed Hayworth in a femme fatale role. The Loves of Carmen, 1948. While not a traditional film noir, it contains themes of betrayal and passion that often intersect with film noir sensibility. Hayworth's contribution to film noir solidified her legacy as one of Hollywood's most enduring stars. Let's delve into Ava Gardner, an iconic actress known for her stunning performances and contributions to the film noir genre. Ava Gardner was born in 1922 and passed away in 1990. She was celebrated not only for her beauty, but also for her remarkable talent, often portraying complex characters in film. Some of her most notable film performances include The Killers, 1946. In this film, Gardner plays Kitty Collins, a femme fatale who becomes the center of a murder investigation. Her performance is memorable, and the film is often regarded as a classic of the genre. Magambo, 1953. Gardner portrays Eloise Kelly, a sultry and adventurous woman caught in a love triangle in the African wilderness. This role earned her an Academy Award nomination, showcasing her ability to capture intense emotion. The Barefoot Contessa, 1954. In this film, she plays a movie star who struggles with the dark side of fame and love, highlighting her ability to portray both glamour and vulnerability. Singapore, 1947. Gardner's character is in love with Fred MacMurray's character. When the Japanese attack, she loses her memory and begins a new life until her former lover returns. Ava Gardner's legacy in film noir is marked by her captivating performances and the depth she brought to her role, solidifying her status as a cinematic icon. Now, let's explore Hope Emerson, an actress known for her impactful performances in film noir and other genres. Hope Emerson was born in 1897 and died in 1960. She was known for her commanding presence and ability to portray strong, often villainous characters. Some of her most notable film performances include Murder, My Sweet, 1944. In this classic film noir, Emerson plays the role of a tough gangster. Her performance adds a layer of menace and tension, contributing significantly to the film's atmosphere. There's a link in the description. Cage, 1950. Emerson portrayed a ruthless prison warden in this film, showcasing her talent for embodying the authoritarian figures. This film addresses themes of female incarceration and societal injustice, and Emerson's role is pivotal in conveying these ideas. The Glass Wall, 1950. In this film, Emerson plays a supporting role that underscores the desperation and danger faced by the main character, further showcasing her ability to contribute to the film's tension. Hope Emerson's strong performances and unique presence in film noir roles helped to define the genre, making her a memorable figure in classical cinema. Let's turn our focus to Valentina Cortese, a celebrated Italian actress who made her mark both in European cinema and in Hollywood, including film noir. Valentina Cortese was born in 1923 and passed away in 2019. Known for her versatility and elegance, Cortese earned recognition in both Italy and American films. Some of her most notable film performances include House on Telegraph Hill, 1951. Cortese played the lead role of Victoria Kowalska, a concentration camp survivor who assumes a false identity. Her performance anchors this post-war film noir thriller, blending suspense and emotional depth. The Glass Mountain, 1949. While not strictly a film noir, the British-Italian drama features noir-like emotional complexity. Cortese plays Alida, a woman involved in a tragic love story set against the backdrop of World War II. Thieves' Highway, 1949. Directed by Jules Dashin, this film noir crime drama sees Cortese in a supporting role as Rika, a streetwise woman who becomes involved in a dangerous world of crime and corruption. Her nuanced performance as a character caught between loyalty and survival is one of the highlights of the film. There's a link in the description. Malaya, 1949. In this adventure film with noir undertones, Cortese plays a supporting role alongside Spencer Tracy and James Stewart. While not her most famous film noir role, this film showcases her ability to navigate different genres. Valentina Cortese's unique blend of grace and intensity allowed her to leave a lasting impression in the realm of film noir, contributing to her long and illustrious career in international cinema. Let's now explore Ann Sheridan, an actress known for her sharp wit and charm, who brought a distinctive edge to her film noir roles. Ann Sheridan was born in 1915 and passed away in 1967. Often referred to as the oomph girl, Sheridan had a successful Hollywood career and was particularly adept at playing strong, no-nonsense characters. Some of her most notable film performances include They Drive by Night, 1940. Sheridan stars as Cassie Hartley in this noir-tinged drama about truck drivers navigating dangerous roads and shady deals. Her performance is noted for its grit and determination. Nora Apprentice, 1947. This classic film noir features Sheridan in the title role as a nightclub singer who becomes embroiled in a doctor's web of lies and deceit. Her portrayal of a complex and morally ambiguous character is a standout. The Unfaithful, 1947. In this noir drama, Sheridan plays a wife accused of murdering a man she had an affair with. The film explores themes of infidelity and guilt, with Sheridan delivering a powerful performance. Woman on the Run, 1950. One of Sheridan's most iconic roles, she stars as Eleanor Johnson, a woman trying to find her husband before the police or the mob can. This film is celebrated for its tense atmosphere and Sheridan's dynamic portrayal of a woman caught in a dangerous situation. Ann Sheridan's blend of toughness, vulnerability, and charm make her a natural fit for film noir, and her work in these films continues to be highly regarded. Now, let's move on to Marilyn Monroe, an iconic star of Hollywood's golden age. While she is often associated with comedic and romantic roles, Monroe had a few memorable turns into darker, more dramatic films, some of which dipped into the film noir genre. Some of her most notable film performances include The Asphalt Jungle, 1950. Monroe's role as Angela Findlay, the young mistress of a corrupt lawyer, is a smaller one, but her performance in this heist film noir, directed by John Huston, is striking. The film is a classic of the genre, and Monroe's presence adds a touch of glamour and complexity to the plot. There's a link in the description. Niagara, 1953. One of Monroe's leading roles in a noir thriller, she plays Rose Loomis, a woman plotting to murder her husband during a vacation at Niagara Falls. The film is notable for showcasing a darker, more manipulative side of Monroe as she effectively plays the femme fatale. Don't Bother to Knock, 1952. In this psychological thriller, Monroe stars as Nell Forbes, a mentally unstable babysitter. Her haunting and vulnerable performance in this lesser-known film noir reveals her range as an actress and shows her ability to play troubled characters. Clash by Night, 1952. Directed by Fritz Lang, this film noir drama features Monroe in a supporting role as Peggy, a factory worker. The film is a melodrama with noir undertones, and Monroe's natural charisma adds depth to her character and the overall narrative. While Marilyn Monroe may not be best remembered for her film noir roles, her performances in these films demonstrated her ability to handle more serious and sinister material, proving she was more than just a glamorous movie star. Let's now turn to Lauren Bacall, one of the quintessential actresses of film noir, known for her sultry voice and strong independent characters. Lauren Bacall was born in 1924 and passed away in 2014. She was most closely associated with the film noir genre due to her iconic collaborations with Humphrey Bogart. Some of her most notable film performances include To Have and Have Not, 1944. While considered more noir adjacent, Bacall's debut role as Marie Slim Browning introduced her smoky voice and magnetic chemistry with Bogart, laying the foundation for the film noir persona she would become famous for. The Big Sleep, 1946. In this classic film noir directed by Howard Hawks, Bacall stars as Vivian Rutledge, a woman wrapped in the shady dealings of her family. Bacall's performance alongside Bogart's as Detective Philip Marlowe is one of the most memorable femme fatale portrayals in film history. There's a link in the description. Dark Passage, 1947. Bacall plays Irene Jansen, a woman who helps an escaped convict, Bogart, clear his name. The film is notable for its use of first-person camera angles, and Bacall's performance as a determined and loyal woman drives much of the tension. There's a link in the description. Key Largo, 1948. Bacall stars as Nora Temple, a widow whose hotel is overtaken by gangsters. The film's stormy atmosphere and moral ambiguity make it a film noir classic, and Bacall's role further solidifies her place in the genre. There's a link in the description. Lauren Bacall's roles are iconic for their complexity and strength, showcasing a unique blend of vulnerability and toughness, making her one of the most memorable women in film noir. Concluding our November 2024 project with 30 shorts on 30 classic femme fatales of film noir, I would like to say legendary actresses of film noir not only shaped the genre, but left an indelible mark on cinematic history. Whether they played the manipulative femme fatale or the misunderstood heroine, their performances gave life to the genre's distinctive style of storytelling. The allure and intrigue they brought to the screen ensured that these films would be remembered and revered for generations. As we celebrate their roles during November, we recognize the significant contribution of these actresses to film noir and cinema as a whole, ensuring their legacy lives on for both longtime fans and new audiences alike.